So, day 0 of Colossalcon Texas. This was my first time going to any Colossalcon. And Cowboy Kakashi, this was your second one, correct?
Yes, this was the second one. Last one I went to was in 2021.
Okay. So, going to the convention, we took a plane over there. Plane ride was about, I'd say like 4 hours total.
4 hours in total with the layovers, but it was pretty quick because it was broken up.
Yep. Yeah, so when we got there, we met up with one of our friends and we rented out a car just to make it a lot easier if we needed to go outside. When we got over to the convention, it was, it was slightly busy. You had a whole bunch of people coming in on Thursday. We were able to get our room. Since badge pickup wasn't until like 8 o'clock that night, we were able to walk around the convention. And then around, 4 hours or so before we had to get our badges, I decided I was going to get into cosplay.
Yeah, you decided to do your day 0 Espeon cosplay, I believe.
Yep. So that was fun. I actually had a couple of kids come up to me saying that was pretty. And when a kid tells you that you're pretty, you are pretty. So, yeah, but that was day 0. Not really much else happened, just walking around.
Yeah, we got our shopping in just so we can have our snacks and everything so we wouldn't take away from the actual convention.
Yep, did that. All right, so day 1, which is that Friday, and the official start of the convention, we did Elaine and Bond from 7 Deadly Sins. Yeah, we didn't really see too many 7 Deadly Sins cosplays. The reason we did do it on Friday is because I saw a post on the Colossalcon group page saying that there's going to be a Elizabeth and Meliodas there. So we're like, yes, let's go ahead and do it Friday. How was your experience walking around?
Being with Bond was pretty fun. It was one of the most easier cosplays I've probably done, where I didn't have to do too much makeup, too much clothing or anything on there. We saw a lot of great cosplayers. We also was able to get to the dealer's room without too much of a line, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I got to be a princess. It was the first time wearing a cosplay that had like a petticoat and whatnot, so that was definitely interesting. Yeah, as you said, we saw a lot of really cool cosplays, and not really much else. We did go to the water park as well, but we were only there for a couple of pictures, and then we got back into regular cosplays to walk around some more. I think we ended our night around like 9 o'clock because we're old, and wasn't really interested in doing the concerts that they had going on during the night. But yeah, that was day 1. All right, so day 2, we did Kami and Vega from Street Fighter. This is the first time I actually wore Kami with no leggings, and dang, that cosplay, it kept going right into my butt. But I mean, it worked. Everyone was loving the cosplays. Cowboy Kakashi was Vega. That was the first time he was wearing that one. We did realize with that cosplay, he needs a better wig.
Yeah, the wig really sucked. I had a hard time trying to get it to where I can actually see out of the mask and you actually see the mask. But there's quite a times where the hair would just part and just cover almost my whole face. So I really wasn't a big fan of that. So I definitely had to fix it quite a few times.
Yeah. But the cosplays were well received. We had a lot more pictures done that day. People wanted pictures with us, and I got pictures of other people. We actually saw quite a few Street Fighter cosplays.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Chun-Li's. We saw one Thigh Li, this guy cosplaying as Chun-Li, and he had like these big ass thighs, so he never skipped leg day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we see a lot of Street Fighters cosplayers walk around, so it really helped out with our cosplays because we able to got some really good pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we actually did attend the after hours water park event for this day. So we just changed into a bikini version of Kami and a Speedo version of Vega.
First time wearing a Speedo, and it was not fun.
You look good in it though. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was definitely nice. I guess like last time that you went, they had some kids at the after hours.
Yeah, last time I guess it was the first time for Texas Colossalcon, so it was kind of open to anybody that purchased the tickets. But this year it was much more well received, where it was allowed the con goers actually to take part of the whole water park. So it was really nice not having like little kids running around. It was more adult, more themes, and it was really well set up that way.
Yeah, and gosh, we only stayed at the after hours for about an hour because we really just wanted to hang out with one of our friends and maybe try the lazy river because I really like lazy rivers. But yeah, that was pretty much for day. What was it? Day 2?
Day 2.
Yeah, day 2. Day 3, the final day of the convention. We decided to do DC cosplays. So Nabe Kakashi was Nightwing and I was Starfire. Usually when I did Starfire, I actually had leggings underneath. So then I was really just painting my arms and my face. But we decided to forego the leggings and paint me all orange. And the contacts that I had was the first time I was using them. They are full scleras that cover the whole eye, so I wasn't really blind, but I couldn't see very well. Despite that, going back through the pictures, it looks like I had a lot of good pictures. But yeah, again, more great cosplays. Everyone liked Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing is a pretty good success. You don't see too many Nightwings running around that much. We did see a Red Hood. We saw a few more DC characters running around. That was really great. I would just say that it was kind of a new experience painting your ass orange, which was pretty fun, but it was also a pain to try to get the orange on there and make sure there was no other skin showing.
Yeah, there is a couple of photos that I noticed where I'm kind of sitting down and there was like a peak of my white skin. But I mean, it's very hard to tell. The orange was pretty close to my own skin color, so unless you're really looking at it, then you wouldn't have been able to tell. But yeah, it was fun walking around. I did a bikini version of Starfire, and that was technically like the last hour of the convention. I decided to do that. And as I was walking, because of my wig, I had a whole bunch of people saying that I was a mermaid, and I did not mind that at all. I kind of wished I did a mermaid cosplay. Yeah, like maybe I might actually do Ariel one day because the wig is pretty Ariel-like. Yeah, of course, day 3 is always the shortest day. There was a lot of people leaving that day, and we're so glad that we decided that we were going to stay another night and leave on Monday. Because even like trying to go down to the convention that morning, we had to go down the stairs because there was a line to get to the elevators.
Yeah, it's always a rough time, like leaving on Sunday. I know a lot of people do, but it's just it's a pretty much battleground inside the elevators to try to get all your stuff in. So it's really smart to pack everything up the night before, that's Saturday, and then just have your small go bag. But we kind of got out of cosplay right around 4 because we weren't going to get back in cosplay because the convention kind of ended at 4. So it gave us full access to the water park. So we definitely took advantage of that and get to ride all the rides there that we couldn't really ride because of our wigs or makeups or our cosplays. That kind of would interfere with some of those rides they had there at the resort.
Yeah, that was day 3. Alright, so this was, again, my first time going to Colossalcon and my first time going to a Kalahari resort. Now, we have a resort that's kind of similar in our area called the Great Wolf Lodge. The difference is that, well, the Kalahari is African theme, while the Great Wolf Lodge is more of kind of a log cabin type of theme. But the resort is beautiful. It's huge. The water park was really nice, but then they also had the outside water park. Unfortunately, it was all triple digits while we were there, so not a lot of people were going outside to the outdoor water parks. And I know you didn't go last time because when
Last
you
time
went,
was in November,
Yeah.
so water park outside was kind of closed, and also even this year they didn't really open up the water park until almost the weekend, and they didn't really extend it for the whole day. It was almost like 4 hours or 5 hours the water park outside was actually open. So trying to rush out there and get into the water park when you had a perfectly decent one that was inside that was open majority of the time was a lot easier to have access to.
but yeah, it was very spacious. There were quite a few places that you can take pictures. We didn't hire any private photographers because it was my first time going, and Cowboy Kakashi had to refresh his memory on what the actual place looked like.
Yeah, it was like 2 years since I went, and they moved around like the little photo places they had, like little sceneries you could take. They moved into a better venue because last time it was a much more tighter hallway. So this time I was very happy how they moved into a much larger hallway at the end of the convention, so it was easy access there rather than right in the middle of it where they had 2 years ago.
Yeah, but overall the venue was really nice. All right, so food-wise, we ate out a couple times because, of course, everything at the Kalahari Resort is expensive. So we had like a quick meal over at the gas station. There was this other place called the Cotton Patch.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had some food over there too, like more like Southern food if you're into that. And they did have food in the actual convention space. And it was ramen, you had sushi,
Pizza. They had quite a few little small places where you can actually go and order your food at. And the great thing is that your wristband that you have on you actually is tied to the room. So it's really easy to walk around and scan that to pay for your food rather than having a wallet on you the whole time, because it can be a pain carrying a wallet when you're cosplaying because some cosplays don't have pockets. But yeah, they also had a few other restaurants there. We went to one place. It was like a Italian pizza place, and they had really good pizza that was actually for like $7 for a really big slice. So that was very good.
Yeah, and when we actually left Texas, we found this barbecue place called Salt Lake Barbecue. Oh my gosh, it was delicious.
Yeah, best brisket I think I've ever had.
Yeah, and a pretty good price too.
Big portions, very big
yes,
portions.
big portions. I definitely needed to share that. So, Colossalcon doesn't explicitly say it, but I feel that it is definitely a 18 plus convention, or specifically 21 plus.
100%, because not only do they have you have your typical alcohol you have in the restaurants there, but they actually have several bars throughout the resort that you can walk up and get mixed drinks or just beer or anything like that. So it definitely shows that they're out there to serve alcohol to the cosplayers.
Yeah, there's actually 2 bars in the convention space that you can be able to get stuff. Like I saw people walking around with these little like pineapple looking cups. I didn't get any of that, but I drank every single day that we were out. Even when we were leaving the state, I had a to-go mimosa over at the airport. But yeah, my favorite drink was the what was it called again? The bomb pop. It's almost like that that popsicle, you know, it looks like a little rocket and it's got red, white, and blue. Absolutely delicious. If I go again, I'm getting it again.
Yeah, I don't drink much, but I was able to get a whiskey and Coke twice. The first one was much more premier whiskey, and it definitely wasn't to my taste because they put a lot of whiskey and hardly any Coke. But the second time I got a Jack Daniel's honey whiskey with Coke, and that was actually really smooth and really good.
Good drinks. Oh, there was a couple of drinks that I saw. This is not alcoholic, but they had a sign for these 2 like frappuccinos, and they were Resident Evil themed. And I felt bad that I didn't get it, so maybe next time I will get it.
Definitely next time.
Yeah, even though I don't drink coffee or anything. Alright, so lately I've noticed with myself that I haven't really gotten a whole lot of stuff, but I did get some things from this convention. I got one of those pillow covers. I've never had one of them before, but they had an Ace one from One Piece, and I had to get it. Like, the thing is super soft. And then they convinced me to get a mini one, but the mini one
18 plus.
Yeah, it's not safe for work. But it's really cute, though. And then my tradition is I always try to get a pin or a keychain from the convention. So I found a Cammy pin, which is great because I don't have a whole lot of Street Fighter pins. And we also got a keychain from the actual resort, so that was good too. While you were drinking at the convention, they were giving out these straws that had My Hero Academia characters on them. So because I drank twice in the water park where they were handing out these straws, I got 2 straws. Very pleased with them. Got a couple of stickers, and then we had this one person that gave us this artwork.
It was actually pretty cute because it was on our, it was pretty much Friday when we were doing Bond in the Lane. We were walking around cosplaying them, and this cosplayer came up there and actually gave us this really cute artist-drawn picture of Bond in the Lane. And it looks like Elaine's kind of in a schoolgirl outfit and Bond's in kind of like a more street clothes and they're holding hands. And it's really adorable that she gave it to us. So we were very appreciative that we got this from her.
Yeah, she said she found it in the artist alley, but when we went in there, I swear I did not find it.
Yeah, the artist alley in the dealer's room, this is my second time, has still remained very small. Hopefully the next year we go, they kind of get a little bigger because they're very small and you can make pretty much like 1 or 2 laps around there and you've seen everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is one of the downsides that I noticed from this convention. And I've been to a couple of small ones, but even then they have bigger vendors. I think just because they're staying on one floor, they can only have a certain amount of vendors in the room. But yeah, I mean, hopefully next time we go, they'll have more vendors there. Did you actually get anything?
No, I didn't purchase anything. Nothing really struck me as out of the ordinary or something that I would really like to get. Everything was kind of just the same thing you see at most conventions. There were some nice things, but dealing with plane traveling, it'd just be a pain to really put something in there and then expect it to break.
Yeah. You did get something for the dog, though. I found this plushie that said Mountain Poo on it, and I love Mountain Dew. So I insisted we had to get it for the dog. And so far, the dog does like the toy. So money well spent. So overall, I really liked this convention. Again, it's my first time going to Colossalcon, any Colossalcon. And it happened to be in Texas, which was really nice to go out of the state. But yeah, what did you think of it?
Since this is my second time, I would definitely go again. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I saw some old friends that are my group that I saw 2 years ago that they remembered me, and I was very happy about that. And I met some new ones as well, but there was a lot of great cosplays, a lot of fun times, fun experience. So I'm definitely excited to go again. If you've never been to a Colossalcon before and you like to see people run around in swimsuits, hey, this is a convention for you.
Bikini Con!
Yes, Bikini Con pretty much.
Yeah, but we're actually highly thinking of going to this convention again next year. When we got our badges, they gave us a flyer already for the next time they're doing the convention, which is really unusual because a lot of conventions, they wait until the end of the convention and even like weeks past that to decide what their days are going to be. But these guys were like, yeah, we're going to be doing these days next time. And it looks like they're going to be expanding the convention to 2 floors instead of 1. So if we go, that makes me hopeful that they're actually going to have more vendors of Artist Alley and Dealer's Room at this convention. So I really think we're gonna go next year.
Yeah, definitely. If we get the time off and it works out, I'm definitely gonna go. It's just something that's gonna be probably a convention that if it's this year that I can get off for it, then I'm gonna definitely do it for each of the years. If not, I'm gonna be sorely missed. But yeah, it's a outstanding convention. Mm-hmm. Enjoy everything about it.
Yeah. And that's what we think of Colossalcon Texas 2023.